Now, a reminder of the big breaking news. Manchester United have made an official bid worth just under £74 million to RB Leipzig for striker Benjamin Sesko. The fee is an initial £65 million plus around £8.9 million in performance-related add-ons. We're going to go to Keith Downey, who is still at the Newcastle United training ground and joins us live now. Keith, what can you tell us? What does this fresh bid mean and the knock-on for Newcastle?
Yeah, well, I've been saying all day, really, haven't I, that Newcastle, I think, have been internally a little bit concerned that Manchester United come to the table and then Benjamin Sesko potentially favours a move to Manchester United. And as you rightly say, Julia, that offer was made by Manchester United, totalling €85 million. So €75 million up front plus €10 million in performance-related add-ons, which is actually short of Newcastle's offer that was made last night. Newcastle offering around about €5 million more, £80 million up front with £10 million in performance-related add-ons. So as it stands, Newcastle have offered a little bit more up front and a little bit more in total, but Manchester United have come to the table, and one source continues to maintain to us that the player 80, not the higher one from Newcastle United that was made last night. So it's all becoming a bit of a confusing situation, but I think it was just to smoke out the formality from Manchester United to stoke out that interest with a formal bid, and it looks as though that is what has happened. There'll still be a bit more negotiating to come. But Newcastle, I told you about an hour ago, were the only club at the table for Benjamin Sesko. Now Manchester United have followed up that interest with a formal bid of their own, and while it doesn't quite match Newcastle United, it feels like it leaves the player with a decision to make.
Yeah, and as you say, a big one for Sesko to make Newcastle or Manchester United. How much of a blow, Keith, would it be for Newcastle if they do miss out on another key target this window?
Yeah, look, it would be a hammer blow for Newcastle. It's been a bit of a disaster transfer window for them. There's a long list of players that they've got quite far down in terms of negotiations with, only to find that they choose to go elsewhere. You know, I can go through them all. Hugo Ekitike, who of course gone to Liverpool. João Pedro went to Chelsea. Liam Delap went to Chelsea. Manchester United themselves have already taken Brian Mbeumo. Newcastle thought they had a chance there. Dean Howson, the Bournemouth central defender, went to Real Madrid. There's a number of players who Newcastle felt they had a chance of signing, but have gone elsewhere. The fact they've got to this stage with Sesko, and it's a player that they've admired for a long time, and it feels as though the options available to Newcastle in that striking department are getting less and less. This one will really hurt if he goes to Manchester United instead, because the Man United front three next season of Cunha, Mbeumo and potentially Sesko, if he makes the move, would be a front three that Newcastle would have loved to have had. So look, it's been a really, really difficult window, but look, it's still alive. Newcastle's offer remains on the table. It's not been rejected. Neither is Manchester United, and I'll say it again, Newcastle's offer is more. So that just adds another layer of intrigue to this ever-developing story.
Yeah, Keith, you've mentioned just how tough the window has been. Does that mean, do you think Newcastle might go beyond what they wanted to pay to try and get Sesko?
I think they probably already have, Julia, if I'm honest with you. I mean, that's a lot of money as far as Newcastle United are concerned. Remember, their club record was the 58 plus 5, 63 million total that they paid for Alexander Isak 3 years ago. So this offer is, of course, you have to remember, if Sesko chooses Manchester United rather than Newcastle United, that then will have a knock-on effect as to the future of Alexander Isak. Liverpool had an offer for him rejected by Newcastle on Friday, £110 million plus add-ons. My understanding is that Newcastle will not allow Alexander Isak to leave the football club until they have got what they believe is a like-for-like replacement, and Sesko is that, and coupled with that, Liverpool and Isak and Liverpool as well. So yeah, it's a very complicated situation, and that has just added a real, extra dimension of drama to it. The fact that Manchester United have come to the table and made that offer, €75 million plus 10 following in Newcastle's offer last night.
The full roundup on the transfer show at 5 and then 7 p.m. here on Sky Sports News.